What is up, guys? Welcome back to JoJo Show MTG. Sorry for the missed video yesterday. My room apparently decided it wanted to flood, so had to take care of that. But we are back at it today. I got some exciting news. I actually just reached Platinum today, and I'm going to show you the deck that I used it for. Now, what I mean by reach Platinum is that there is a ranked queue when it comes to Standard as well as Constructed. Now, Standard is probably the most common format for most players to play with, and MTG Arena does really well of allowing you to play, as many games as you want. You don't have to wait for a tournament to go to in real life. So this allows you to climb as quickly as you want and spend as much time as you want. Now, the deck that I built here that I actually climbed to Platinum with is probably one of the most cheapest decks I've ever made in my life. There's only 8 rares in here, and the rest are commons and uncommons. It's a flat red deck wins. We rush the damage, we rush into them, and we attack. We just go out swinging every turn. Now, this isn't a guaranteed win, of course, but it can definitely help you climb. I used this exact deck to climb to Platinum from the very bottom this season, and that was literally only about a week or two ago total of time of me climbing with this deck. So let's go through it here, break it down for you. First off, we got the Heartfire Hero here. Now, he's just has the Valiant ability. We're going to see a lot of Valiant in this deck, so whenever I target him with a spell or ability, he gets +1/+1 counter put on him, only for the first time. And then whenever he dies, he deals the damage equal to his power to my opponent, so just extra damage. Might of the Meek is our first instant here. 1 drop cost. Target creature gains trample until a turn, and if it's a mouse, it gets +1/+0, plus it also draws you a card just for 1 red. Monastery Sweep Spear, one of the best uncommons I've ever seen. 1/2 Haste Prowess. Now, Prowess means whenever I cast a non-creature spell, he gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So this guy comes out on the field for a 1 drop, can swing, and if I have any of the instants to buff him, he gets to buff himself on top of it. It's great. Monstrous Rage. This is, again, a really great uncommon here. Target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn, and he gets a token attached to him. It's like an enchantment token that gives him +1/+1 in trample. So for 1 red, we are giving that person 3 extra power and trample, which is crazy. So we have Shock, of course, 1 drop, some removal spell. We gotta get those little creatures that they try to throw out in the very early game out of our way so we can just swing and hit them directly for all the damage we can. Demonic Ruckus is something I just actually upped the amount of. At first, I only had 2 in here, but I changed it to 4 because it's so good. It gives the +1/+1 menace and trample. Now it has plot, so we can cast this for 1 and plot it for next turn. We play it next turn for free. So instead of paying the 2 mana, we're only paying the 1. We just have to wait 1 turn, and we can use this as a free spell to get another +1/+1 menace, which means it can only be blocked by 2 or more creatures, and trample. Now, this is really good in the early game because most other decks you face, I guess unless you're facing another red deck wins, doesn't have more than 1 creature out this early. So this is perfect. Emberheart Challenger. So this is our first rare here. Just like the other Valiant, it allows you to cast a spell on him. If he gets targeted by a spell or ability, you get to exile the top card of your library until a turn you may play that card. Now, that is a great ability, but I will definitely tell you, I've not used it very much. The great thing about him is just being the 2/2 prowess. So he's going to buff himself. He gets haste. He can go right in. And then if you do have some extra mana to cast the top card of your library this turn, that's another benefit. Lightning Strike, of course, again another 2 cost removal that does 3 damage to the 2. It's just a better version of Shock, and it goes to any target. You can use Shock and Lightning Strike to actually deal damage to your opponent, not just your opponent's creatures. So it's perfect for that sense. Now we have our second and last rare in here. So whenever you cast a non-creature spell, he gets +2/+0 until a turn. So it's kind of like he has prowess, but instead of +1/+1, he just gets 2 to his power, which is so much better. And he has flying and haste. Now he's a 2 drop, of course. We can do the plot if we want to, but the plot's not necessary because he already comes out swinging. So it's perfect. Now the last spell we actually have here is Witchstalker Frenzy. Now this is the most expensive spell in this, just a 4 drop cost, but it does get reduced by mana cost depending on how many creatures have attacked this turn. So if I attack with 2, it gets reduced by 2, and it does 5 damage to target creature. Now this was a maybe, but there's definitely some early game creatures in decks like black-green mid-range, and maybe even some white-red Boros that I've seen where they can get a really big creature out early, and this allows me to just get rid of that obstacle. So I've definitely used this more than not, but it has come up at certain times where it's dead in the hand. But I think it's definitely worth keeping in the deck. Now, we only need to keep 22 lands in here, which is perfect because all of our spells are 2 to 1 drop cost besides the Witch Frenzy. And then I threw 2 Rock Face Villages in here. Again, these aren't super necessary because they only can cast red for when you're casting a creature spell. They won't help with our instants and sorceries that buff our creature. But the great thing about this is, if I have 1 extra mana floating to use this ability, I can give one of my mice or bird, that whatever one of the creatures, oh sorry, it's just mice actually, which is half the creatures in our deck anyways, +1/+0 and haste. Now the great thing is they already have haste, but the cool part about this is it will trigger their Valiant ability as well off of the land. So this definitely helps us get more damage in. Now that's pretty much the gist of the whole deck. I'm going to show you guys how it plays, and we'll see how much we can climb. Let's hope this doesn't, like, destroy my elo. My cat Hades here, blending into the back. Okay. Let's get this going here. So we drop a mountain. Let's get the Heartfire Hero out right off the bat. I probably should have gone with Monetary Swift Spear just because I could have put that damage in on first turn, but it's not that big of a deal. He already blew a Lay on Hands, so that's perfect. We already have another creature to throw out, so I'm going to throw the Haste Prowess this time because we want to get as much damage in as early as possible. We're going to buff him here. He's going to be a 5/4. Look at that. Turn 2, I'm swinging with a 5/4. That's crazy. 1/4 of his health is gone already. And I didn't even get to swing him the first turn. If I did, it would have been better. Making me middle, okay. I lost a few of my flyers. That's perfectly fine here. We're going to throw everything in our hand out pretty much. We're just going to dump it because we can. Buff him again. Another 5/4. Boom. Now this is where things can slow down a bit because if he has a creature or a solution to get rid of all of my guys. See, there's one right there. At this point, I got nothing in my hand, so I'm burnt out. I'm solely relying on top deck right now, but I already have him at half of his health. Not what I wanted to see, but it's fine. We'll just swing in for 2 damage. He's down to 8 life now. Okay, he's casting his Curate again. He's probably looking for an answer right now with him surveilling and drawing. He's probably looking for the 3-drop that'll get rid of all of my creatures here. Another Haste Prowess here. Perfect. We're going to swing in for 3 more. Look at that. He's down to 5 life now. This is turn 5, I believe. So 5 life. That's pretty great. Yep. So he's looking for. Okay, so he got rid of all my creatures. That's perfectly fine. He's only at 5 life left. I'm going to throw my guy right off the bat here. It's only 1 damage, of course, but the great thing about this situation is him being at 4 life now. If I draw a Lightning Bolt and a Shock, he's dead. So all I need to do is get a little bit more damage in. He's going to waste another Sunfall just on my guy. That's perfectly fine with me. If I top deck another creature here, swing out for more damage. Perfect, yep. Emberheart Challenger, I'm going to do 2 this time instead of 1. He's down to 2 life. He's got blockers now, which he can throw in, of course. But if I get the Menace card, or even a Shock or a Lightning Bolt, he's done for. Perfectly fine with me. He exiled my creature, and I have to cast it next turn, but for 4 instead of 2. Sure, fine. Do some damage to me finally. Now, he has to block here, or he loses. So get rid of his 1/1. Still throwing out the pressure on him. Not what I wanted to see there. I don't want to swing out because I'll just lose my creature. Having 6 mana in this deck is really crazy. And normally you never want that much. So he's gonna, you know, nerf my creature a bit here. Again, if I still get the menace, 7 mana. That's crazy. Okay. Come on, 2 life. It's totally fine. Again, the prowess doesn't matter. It doesn't make you lay out 8 mana. Holy cow. Okay. Nope, we're gonna sit on it again. At least the great thing about having Emberheart here is the fact that if I do get a spell that targets him, he will make it so I can cast another spell off the top, and that means I could double buff him, hopefully. He's top decking right now just like I am. Oh, perfect. He might have a counter to this. It's probably what is in his hand right now, and he'll probably stop it, or try to stop it. Okay, you can exile that all you want, dude. You still lose! See? And that's the best example of how well this deck can work here. We're just pumping out that damage as best as we possibly can, and pushing forward. We'll do one more game here so I can kind of show you guys again how it's done, how we kind of keep that pressure up. As you saw beforehand, they can get slowed down when he has a bunch of answers to my problems that I'm creating. But in the end, we still pulled it off. We did so much damage in the early game that in the late game, he wasn't able to pick himself back up. And that, I can tell you from experience, it's the worst feeling when you're at 2 life and you know for a second, anytime he could pop out a shock or a lightning bolt and just end the game. It's another red deck, so this is also another challenge here. This is more of who can do the most damage to each other the fastest. If he's solely red, of course. Are you two? They're having the time of their life over there. Did he not get another land? Kinda hope not. He looks like he's trying to buff it, but he can't decide. Okay, there it goes. Throws in the 4. Now this guy is very similar to our little level 1 rat that I can, or mouse that I can throw at people, just like this, but he can sacrifice it because of its ability when it does damage to me, where I have to wait for the rat to, for my rat to die. But I like the Valiant better than having this ability here. I should have gone with the Slicker Shot, to be honest, but I think if he has a removal spell, he's going to blow it on Emberheart. And again, no land for him. This guy's having a tough time. Doesn't matter who I buff on this at this point, but when you think about it, this buff that I'm casting right now, the Monstrous Rage. It's going to create a monster roll token of +1/+1 and trample. We want that on our flyer because the more damage we can, or buffier we can get our flyer, the less likely he can die, and he'll be able to overhit any of their damage. He's already down to 5 life. He has to get rid of all of my creatures and somehow stops. I have a double shock in my hand. No matter what life he's at the end of next turn, I will end him. Okay, buddy. No, we'll tap this for red for the creature. Just because I want to rub it in. And there we go. Easy. So as you saw here, 2 free wins on that red deck win. And I'm climbing already. Again, I'm 2 away from now plat 3. It's perfect. So Thank you for watching my video. If you have any other questions on kind of deck techs or builds to help you climb in Standard or any other format, please just hit me a message or like, comment, subscribe. I would love to hear from you guys. I do stream on Twitch every single day when I can, so it's usually Monday through Friday, and I might do some on the weekends as well, from 1 to 3 o'clock normally, or sometimes I might go as early as noon, but usually between 1 and 3. I like to stream drafts on here, so I can show you guys kind of the new cards coming out of the deck and show you guys how to climb and draft. But yeah, thanks for watching.